Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, spin doctors have a bad time of it at the moment. Their job, of course, is to make sure that people are aware of politicians, are aware of policies, are aware of manifestos, and they want to convince you to vote for their guy, whoever that guy may or may not be. And of course, it's very, very difficult because, well, there's a lot of football on. And let's face it, people would rather watch football than some boring old politician droning on about how great his party is and how wonderful the future will be if you put an X in his box. Well, what can they do? They really haven't got anywhere to go. And it's been described in this article in the Herald as a ball ache. And it quite literally is. They don't know what to do. How can they make politicians interesting? Politicians are never interesting, even at the best of times, unless they're doing something particularly salacious that is worthy of the Sundays. But we'll take a look at this article quickly, just to see where it's going with it, because it's really a bad choice, I think. Rishi Sunak chose poorly when he decided to go for an election during the middle of a major footballing tournament. What was he thinking? Who knows? Anyway, here goes. So the Euros have been a ball ache for Scotland's spin doctors, and boy do I hate the Herald, because I have to move it up and then I have to move it across so you can read the bloody thing. Go with the flow, guys. Sort it out. Anyway, the football has been a right headache for Scotland's spin doctors. Not just Scotland's, everyone's, I think. Every spin doctor. Their job is to get their masters on the news and get them into your living room every night. I tell you, you wouldn't invite the people into your homes, would you? If they knocked on your door, you would say, come on in. So why they think putting them on the telly is going to be useful, it just shows them up to be how loathsome most of them actually are. Anyway, it's hard enough when the sun is shining, and the result of the vote is so seemingly certain, 2 weeks out, that even Tory ministers are now admitting defeat. And they are, and they're all pointing their fingers to Rishi Sunak. Not that he can see them, of course, he doesn't have Sky TV. Anyway, competing with the summer of sport as well, it's a near impossible task. It's not just that folk are more interested in the football, it's that the parties are hampered by even just trying to get onto the pitch. Nobody's interested. There's no more interesting politicians anymore. They're all loathsome creatures, aren't they? They really are. And none of them are coming up with bright ideas or visions of the future that anyone can get behind, except maybe one. Anyway, with the games being broadcast on terrestrial telly, the news bulletins are being shunted all over the schedules. Most nights they're having a running time cut right back, and that matters. A lot of us get our news from TV, but not Sky News, Rishi? But STV's flagship evening 6 p.m. news bulletin reaches an average audience of about 382,000 people, while the BBC's Reporting Scotland, broadcast at 6:30, manages at around 340,000. It's getting on for 10% of the population, I suppose. 10% of the adult population, certainly. So it isn't too shabby, is it? On Monday, the STV News at 6 went out at 4 p.m. Instead of the usual half hour, it lasted just 5 minutes. So that's an improvement then. And regardless of what the Lib Dems might have had to say when they launched their manifesto in the morning, anyone heading to the channel wasn't going to hear much about it. Nobody cared. After all, it's just the SNP. They can put what they like. In fact, as a little heads up, I'm doing a video, probably the next video, it depends on when it comes out with the editing, but I'm doing a video with the Greens and their manifesto. Now, the great thing about the Greens manifesto is they can put anything in there. They can make promises that doesn't matter. They can promise you unlimited rice pudding and the abolition of income tax, but it doesn't matter. They're never going to be in power. So we'll have a look at it, though, because there's a couple of things in there that are quite clearly bonkers. But this, and I shudder to say this, there's actually something in there that I kind of agree with. But then I have been calling for it for some time, so it would seem a bit odd not to. But anyway, though Reporting Scotland has been shoved back to 7:20 p.m. and is only on for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, the SNP launched their manifesto officially tomorrow, but some of it's been leaked. We did some of the leaks yesterday. And that's the day of the next Scotland match. I don't know what time the Scotland match is tomorrow. I'll have to check that out. But please, God, play better than he did against Germany. Anyway, I'm not sure what's to read into the strategy here. If Steve Clarke's men shake off last week's gubbin and hammer the Swiss, it's Swiss, is it? Good, okay. then it's unlikely we'll see many pictures of John Swinney on the front page. You won't. If Scotland win, it's just going to be blasted on every paper in Scotland, isn't it? All over their online websites, everything. It's just, and it is. Well, there's no easy games at this level, but you've got to think you've got a chance against the Swiss. Anyway, if it's another miserable night in Germany, it could be the First Minister rather than Angus Gunn or Kieran Tierney who makes Thursday's splashes. Some small mercies though. At least Scotland's army of Malcom Tuckers no longer have to worry about trying to get their boss on the telly while Taylor Swift is in town. Yes, old Swifty's gone, and so that everybody's back to normal kind of thing. The sky. I say normal. Anyway, relief too that the Holyrood election in 2026 will be done and dusted by the time the World Cup starts. Yes, out of the way. I wonder if we'll get to that. The Scottish Parliament vote looms heavy over this week's launches. Yes, because although this is, how do we put this? This is the manifestos for the general election but actually it's not. Let's be making no mistake here. This is also the beginning of the Holyrood vote in 2026. They are laying out their stalls early. This is why the likes of the Greens and the smaller parties and all that, they're pushing what they're doing, because they want to they've got no hope at the general. They know that, but they want to get into the hearts and minds of people for the Scottish elections. If they get in early, they get their feet in the door, kind of thing. That's what this is. As much as this is about July the 4th, it's really much more about the vote in 2 years, as I just said. Scottish Labour's manifesto will be as much about Anna Sarwar moving into Bute House as it is about Keir Starmer moving into number 10 for about 6 weeks and then Angela Rayner taking over. The eye-catching promises from the Lib Dems manifesto were on devolved areas: health, education, agriculture. And that last one was why Alex Cole-Hamilton and his party decamped to Craigie's Farm on the outskirts of North Queensferry to launch their policy prospectus. And there he is. Look, I'm on a tractor. Look at me, Ma. Really? I mean, really? By the way, almost twice accidentally running your deputy over with a tractor is one way to get on the telly. Yes, he did. Did you see this? They don't have the video there, but they have him when he was trying to reverse and move it. And there was just a bunch of people just fleeing out the way. He doesn't know how to drive a tractor. I'll put my hands up. I've only ever been on a tractor once in my life. I couldn't claim to drive a tractor either. It's going to be an interesting election for Mr. Cole-Hamilton and his colleagues. Changes to Scotland's constituency have left his party notionally down 2 seats compared to where they were in 2019. Technically, they're only defending Orkney and Shetland and Edinburgh West. Yes, they've been royally screwed by that, but tough. I'll come up and we'll round off. I think one of the good things about the Euros is it doesn't matter what game you're watching. I was enthralled with the Romania-Ukraine game yesterday. I did a video, and as I was doing it, I said in the video, this has got 0-0 written all over it. And I'd finished the video, and within seconds of finishing the video, they scored. And then they went on, it was 3-0 in the end. It was like, for sake, I should have kept my mouth shut. But there's always football on. And while there's football on, it means you're not watching politicians. And so it's marvellous, isn't it? It's good on you. I mean, I don't care. I'll sit there and watch whoever's playing today, and it'll be like, what are you watching? I don't care. I'll watch it. My wife is very slightly annoyed by the amount of football that's on. What can I say? Anyway, thanks for watching. Definitely hit the subscribe button. You want to watch the next video if it comes out in that order. I think it is going to be the next video, which is about the Greens and their manifesto. Well worth a laugh. Let's go and rip that apart. Anyway, till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.